What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today is actually a really exciting video because I'm going to be taking you with me on my first ever GP placement. So I'm actually really excited about that because that's, you know, one of the reasons that we actually come to medical school, right? It's for those kind of like in-person experiences to actually like live out what it's like to be a doctor. So I'm really excited to do that. My placement is from 9 a.m. till midday tomorrow. But if you guys are new here to this channel, make sure you subscribe because I post weekly videos here about my journey through med school at the University of Manchester. And yeah, I'm a first year, so I've got a long journey ahead and there's gonna be a lot of uploads and a lot to share with you guys. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the notification bell so you get notified. But I do think that because it is the night before, it's important that we think about an outfit because I can't really wear a tracksuit, nor would I want to. So yeah, let's go look in the wardrobe and see what outfits we can come up with. So I'm thinking either these trousers from COS. I really love them. They're really like stylish because they're quite slim fitting and they've got this kind of like stretchy material, but they're also super comfortable and they look really smart because they are a pair of trousers at the end of the day. And it does say on the guidelines you're absolutely not allowed to wear any denim, but of course, why on earth would you want to? You want to look professional at the end of the day. So in terms of smart footwear, I've got these, which are from the Couples, which are like one of my favorite boots. Probably is my favorite boot actually. Super smart. I guess by wearing the trousers, I can cover up this part, so it does just look like a normal black shoe. Now on the top, I know a lot of people tend to wear shirts, but I'm not like the biggest lover of shirts. And I know you can also wear, you know, plain long sleeve. Could have a look at how that looks with the outfit. I definitely don't want to wear something too much. Like I don't know about the color. The color's going to be a bit much. Okay, so I've got a few more options here. I've got a plain white sweater t-shirt thing. I've also got a turtleneck and also just a H&M plain gray t-shirt. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go really plain, wear like a plain long sleeve black sweater t-shirt thing, and I might wear it with a blazer. Okie dokie, so I'm going to try on some of these outfits, but this is the first one. This is just like the plain black look. I think this is probably the safest bet of an outfit that I have, just because all the others have a bit of color, and I just think by wearing plain black, you know, it's very, you know, professional. There's no distraction. Yeah, do I stick a blazer on with this? That looks great. Personally, I look very much like I mean business and like a respectable person. What do we think? Let me know in the comments if you like this outfit. Since the outfit is now sorted, I'm gonna check in with you guys tomorrow morning. The placement's at 9 a.m, so I'm probably gonna aim to get up about 7:30. See you then. I don't normally get up at this time. I don't feel good about it either. Waking up at 7:30 or the fact that I don't normally wake up at this time. I'm tired of fighting, saying things we don't mean. No, I don't like it. When you're packing your back and turning your back, calling me a liar. Calling me a liar. Okay, so this is pretty much the same breakfast that I have every single morning. Porridge with loads of berries in it, because I can't have porridge on its own without something in it. So berries, some honey, if I can get the honey out, and a cappuccino. This is basically every single morning I'll have the exact same thing. But it is 7:55 and I need to set off at 8:15 ideally, because I want to get there about 20 minutes early, just so I've got time to get in the right headspace. But I need this caffeine to hit me first, because right now I'm just in 7:30 a.m. mode. So it's separate ways, we can start over. And we are ready to go. I actually got really fortunate as well in that my placement's only actually like a 5-minute drive away, but with it being super early in the morning, it's probably going to take about 25 minutes, but that's just Manchester traffic for you. But I guess I did get lucky, because I know some people have got their placements over in like Bolton. That's going to take like an hour to get to if you're getting public transport, so I'm pretty fortunate with that. Okay, so it is 8:41 and my placement starts at 9 o'clock, and the walk from here to the placement is like only 5 minutes. And it actually feels really good, because normally I'm late for stuff. So, you know, today I wanted to make a special effort to get there on time and just feel relaxed when I arrive and make a good impression as well. I think that's always really important. I just think it's more respectable, and hopefully if the practice manager, you know, sees something as small as that and I conduct myself well, I'm gonna have more opportunities to observe more things. So today for me, that's really the goal, is just to observe and absorb as much as possible, because I really don't know what to expect. I did do a little bit of work experience in a GP practice when I was maybe 14. My mum organised it. Right now it's just hitting home that I'm actually like sitting in with like proper professionals, like a full practice of, you know, GPs. I think it's an absolute honour to be able to sit in. So I will catch you very soon. Okay, so I am very close, and I'm getting a little bit nervous about the idea of doing an actual consultation with a real patient, because we do these consultations with simulated patients, which are just like practice runs, where we introduce ourselves as a first-year medical student, and that's really, really fun. It's my favourite thing to do at med school. But the idea of doing it with a real patient for the first time ever, when they're actually there to see a doctor, right? I don't know, just a little bit, yeah, excited more than nervous, but I am basically here. So I got my badge and I'm ready to do it. Wow, guys, I've just finished my first GP placement. It was actually meant to finish at 12 o'clock and I stayed an extra 45 minutes just because I wanted to. Actually amazing being able to sit in with the GP and just be in an environment where these patients feel full confidence to share their most, you know, personal bits of information with someone, and being just a medical student. Like, cannot explain to you how much fun I had. Look at how many pages of notes I've written. That is in a 2-hour period. 11 of them were phone calls, and that's because in the morning all the consultations are done via phone. So it's a little bit unfortunate that I got the morning ECE GP placement as opposed to an afternoon one. Fortunately, 2 of the patients did actually come in, so we were able to see a lady with like a lesion, thought maybe it was a fungal infection, ringworm potentially, or psoriasis, so she put her on some antifungal cream. And it was just so fascinating to be in that situation whereby you're able to sit in with a GP, hearing the patient talk about their most personal issues. And I've learned like so much as well. I didn't see much of how the practice operates as a whole. Today was more about getting an introduction to what the practice looks like, the different treatment rooms, meeting the practice manager. He was really, really good because he went through all the like main back-end stuff that you need to be aware of: health and safety, safeguarding, the different people that are involved in the practice, and he made us sign some forms, allowed us an opportunity to ask any questions, which was really, really good. 12 o'clock was when we were meant to finish, but we ended up leaving at 12:45 because we wanted to stick around because it was that fun. Well, that was when we sat in with the GP and listened to these phone consultations. But this course is so amazing because it's so diverse. Like, we sit in lectures, right? Well, online lectures. We sit in PBL sessions, group sessions, we do consultation skills. And like, now I'm in a GP practice. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've just gone to a GP practice, and this is part of the degree, this is part of the course. Outside of what the GP does, like everyone else that works in the practice, like the receptionist, the cleaners, and everything's pretty informal. Like, it just feels like a very typical work environment. But it was quite like alarming to see how hard the GP like is worked. Like, when we walked in straight after having the introduction from the practice manager, we walked in, literally had barely enough time to say, "Hi, my name's Matt, are you guys all right? Yeah, good." And then she literally just picked up the phone onto the next telephone consultation. It was just so quick. Went through ICE, which is the ideas
the concerns that the patient might have and the expectations, and then how she went on to give a solution, like a treatment, whether that be drugs, whether that be management, whether that be bringing the patient in on another occasion to speak to them and just see how they're progressing. It was really great after the telephone consultation to have that opportunity to actually just pick the brains of the GP, and she would then spend like 5-10 minutes, or about 5 minutes, just documenting everything from the consultation that she'd advised and any new information that the patient had given them on this form called EMIS. It's like a database that all doctors and healthcare professionals use around the country to store patient information. But it was so good that while she was doing that, she was actually answering our questions. So she was actually multitasking, and she was on it. Great to ask questions and like what she finds more stressful about the job, what she doesn't. And it was just really great to get her insight. One of them actually had an examination, like a pelvic examination. And for me, it was quite humbling to be a medical student, be just a first year medical student. She was comfortable to just take her clothes off and allow the doctor to examine her in front of 2 medical students. And I guess that's the confidence that the public has in, you know, doctors and future doctors and people in training. Another interesting thing as well is, because this is quite a foreign area, about 50% are English and 50% are actually foreign. And out of 12 consultations, 3 of them were in a different language. So the doctor also speaks multiple languages. I think one of them was in Urdu and the others were in Bengali. So the fact that she was able to have those consultations and it didn't require an interpreter because she's able to speak those languages was pretty amazing. I need to eat something because I'm starving, so I'm gonna head back. And I might go swimming because it's Wednesday and this is when we swim with Manchester. So I might go swimming for an hour, but I'm gonna be late for that. And then I've got loads of work to do later this afternoon. So let's head back. Something that was absolutely incredible about today was the first appointment that we had. The first lady that came in, she came in with like some flowers and a card thanking the GP for spotting that her husband had bowel cancer. And last time that she went in with her husband was in like a lot of pain and she referred him on to go to hospital immediately, and they spotted that he had bowel cancer and he was operated on, and now he's treated and back to normal. And just seeing how happy and how grateful and how thankful she was that her husband was cured and that the GP spotted this. What was amazing actually was just seeing how the GP just almost looks like this is just an everyday activity, you know, we do this all the time. And she did also, you know, make a point of this is like one of the most rewarding things about being a GP, that, you know, these patients are so grateful because they do sort of develop a, you know, relationship with you. And I am back, and how fun was that? So fun. I'm literally just gonna make some lunch. Turkey bagel, protein bagel with some pesto. These protein bagels are amazing. They have 8 grams of plant-based protein in each bagel. So it's just an extra protein source and it tastes great as well. Have those with an egg and some mustard on them. Yeah, I'm not gonna have pesto today. But yeah, that was so cool. The reason why I really love that is because it feels almost like, well, it is actually. It's the first time I've ever actually really experienced some kind of medical rotation. Like, you hear about all these like medical students going on about like preferences in what they want to do after university, like whether they want to specialize, they want to be a consultant in an area, physician, a surgeon. The thing is, being a first year, you don't have any exposure to these things, so having an opinion is actually quite naive, saying that, oh, I want to be a plastic surgeon. Even though I would love to be a plastic surgeon, it's quite naive because once you actually experience what it's like in the OR, the operating room, it's like a totally different kettle of fish. You might not like the sight of real flesh, and then your whole perspective on what you want to do for the future will change. But that was amazing because that's actually the first time I have properly, as a medical student, seen a side of medicine, seen what it is like to be a GP, what a GP's day looks like. Her whole morning was just back to back, patient after patient with different presentations, and she handled it incredibly well, but she did say how stressful it was. The lifestyle is a lot more convenient, it's a lot more flexible.
you can do locum work a couple days of the week. Like she works 3 days in that group practice, and then she spends 2 days of the week, a Thursday and Friday, doing locum work. And that's predominantly because it pays so well, pays so much better. And also it's a good opportunity for her to also see how other practices are run. Do I love the idea of being a GP, just sat in a consultation room, just kind of discharging people into the community, as opposed to maybe having a more significant intervention? I just like the idea of seeing someone presenting with something and then being able to like resolve that issue. I think that's what draws me to surgery. I'm gonna get this egg cooked. Yeah, so if you are wondering what I tend to eat on a daily basis for lunch, it is pretty much this. I'll have these protein bagels. I'll have 2 with 3 slices of turkey, spinach, tomato, avocado, and 2 eggs, 1 on each. I absolutely love it. Sometimes I'll have pesto, sometimes I'll have English mustard. Today I'm going for the mustard. It's just so good. Nutritious as well, you know. Yeah. I have a yogurt after as well. So generally when I eat, I use this as an opportunity to just catch up on some emails, have a look at the news, and zone out for a little bit. Sometimes I watch a YouTube video. When I watch YouTube videos, it tends to be related to my course. So I might watch Ninja Nerd, I might watch, an episode that's relevant to this week's case. I know he's just posted a full hour-and-a-half video on mitral valve regurgitation, which is basically what our case is on this week, which is incredible. So I'm like halfway through watching that. Wow, so I have just had my first comment on my new YouTube channel, this Medic Matt channel, because I posted 2 videos yesterday, and yeah, it's from Bilal Razak. He said that even though I'm a second year, that was super useful. Thank you so much, Bilal, I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, and I'm gonna be posting lots more videos like that, and like this one. Also hit the bell notification, and of course make sure you hit the like button. Anyway, back to eating. Okay, so it is now 2:30 p.m. and I have absolutely no idea where the time has gone. I swear it was like 12:30, 10 minutes ago. So anyway, I've got my cup of tea, so I'm happy. But I missed swimming training, which is annoying. That was from 1 till 3. I generally do that on a Wednesday with the university. It's a great way to keep fit. But today, because the GP placement went over and I stuck around, I've missed that. So I had a good lunch, and now I need to start getting on with the things that I need to get on with, which is just endless. But that's the reality of life as a med student, when you're trying to juggle so many other things. But the priority right now is going to be to fill out my PPD. Now, PPD is something that is a GMC requirement. Every single medical student in the UK will have to do this. It's known as personal professional development, and the purpose of it is for you to consistently write reflective pieces on your experiences throughout med school, whether that be in the university, your exam results, your assessments, meetings that you've had, clinical placements, clinical skills, consultations skills that you've learned. It's basically about writing what you learned, what you did, how you can improve, what your plan is going forward, and your reflective piece on it. And the reason for that is because when you are a doctor, you will have to do this thing called an appraisal. You have to get accredited every few years, and to do that, you have to do these appraisals. So it's a lifelong skill that you need to hone and start from the get-go. So I'm gonna get on with this PPD just while it's fresh in my mind, just taking all the information from my notes that I've written about today in the consultations, and I'm gonna put that into a Notion document ready to just look at and then identify exactly what I'm gonna put in this PPD reflection piece. And I have set up my forest for 60 minutes because I think that's a great period of time to just put the phone aside for and just focus for a good 60 minutes, getting through some not high, like, intensity work. I call it moderate because I'm just really putting notes from here onto there, so it doesn't require a huge amount of focus. That's why I'm doing it for 60 minutes. I can focus for 60 minutes without any distraction. So, off we go. Right, so I just wanted to show you exactly what my progress looked like on doing this PPD entry. And you might just think to yourself, oh, it's just another blaggy thing to have to do, right? I've just done the GP placement, I've just taken a load of notes, and now I've got to formulate it into a PPD entry. Because, yes, I got a load of information and I practiced some skills in taking these notes. And actually, it's some really important skills because I learned like how to become effective with my note taking. My first sheet is completely messy, as you can see. Like, things are just everywhere. But the fact that I've had to put this into a PPD document, it's really helped put into context the presentation of that patient. So for example, this one that I've chosen to write about was this 48-year-old female who was a type 2 diabetic. She'd had a gallbladder removed. And she was finding that over the last few months that every time she was eating, she was having to use the toilet straight away. Also, in addition to that, her weight had dropped by only 1 kilogram since her last consultation, but she was concerned about that. However, this happened to be the same patient who came in and brought the flowers because she was so grateful for the fact that the doctor identified that her husband had cancer. So she'd been very, very stressed recently about her husband's battle with cancer. So that stress could have contributed to that very mild weight loss, but also a loss of 1 kilogram over, I think it was a month since her previous appointment, isn't really something to be concerned about. It's understandable that she's going to be more conscious of things like weight loss. And obviously writing this out, it's put that kind of thing into perspective better. Now also, she had an ultrasound scan which showed she had cystic ovaries, but also because she's a diabetic, she's taking certain number of drugs, right? And she's taking gliflozin and metformin, 2 drugs which I've never heard of before. But by doing this task on PPD, my action plan was to look into these drugs. So I did exactly that, and I looked into the fact that metformin is a first-line drug treatment used in type 2 diabetics, which is what she was, but then also the canagliflozin, which is what she was prescribed as well, is like a 3rd-line treatment for type 2 diabetics. But I also noticed it said metformin can be used as a treatment for people with polycystic ovaries. It's not yet been licensed, I don't think, but it was just an interesting bit of information that I wouldn't have found out unless I'd have done this task. So by putting this into my PPD document, it's now created a lot more context for what I've seen today, and it's made today's consultations so much more valuable. It was time consuming doing this, but it has been very insightful in doing it and put a lot of things into perspective. Now, I have actually just got 7 minutes left with this bout of revision for my Forest app, so I am just going to do another entry into this PPD form, and that will mean that I've got 2 out of the 3 clinical learning entries done for my PPD. So I think it's worthwhile doing that now, and then on my next GP placement, I'll only have to do 1, or maybe I'll have a hospital placement, I'm not sure, but we'll see. So I'm going to get on with that now. Well, anyway, that's been done now. The PPD form has been entered. It's 5:30. I've done 2 hours of work. I just need to kind of get my head in the right space now. And now I'm going to work through the million things that I've got to do today, which is not just the medicine-related stuff. I have got on my organization tab on Notion, which is where I organize everything. I've got my to-do list things to do. And on here today, I've got to finish a certain section of my notes from case 4, which is last week's case, specifically cardiac failure, pulmonary edema. And then in addition to that today, I want to plan out 2 videos. I want to come up with 2 video ideas for this YouTube channel. I want to script them and just come up with how I want to film them. More educational, you know, talking to the camera, similar to my other videos, that I can film in 1 sitting, maybe tomorrow, 1 batch sitting, so that I've got content ready for, you know, 2 weeks. Because especially in medicine, have limited time and I need to be really efficient with the time that I do have. Before anything else though, it is time for my afternoon snack, with it being 5:45. A lot of people will be thinking about dinner time now, but to be honest, I eat dinner at like 9, 10 p.m, which is shocking, I know, but you know, that's just me. Protein yogurt. 20 grams of protein in one of these yogurts. Unbelievable. I live for these things, these Arla yogurts. Amazing. Also gonna get some nuts. So what does my nut selection consist of? Pistachios, almonds, cashews, Brazils, walnut pieces. By the way, these chocolate coated Brazil nuts, they're a problem. They are way too good. They shouldn't be allowed to be that good because of course they have chocolate on them and it just makes them all the more Moorish, you know? You should only really have about 4 or 5, I believe. You'll have to ask my sister, who's a registered dietitian. I've not yet done my dietetics and nutrition module in medicine, so you'll have to go to her for that kind of advice for now. Almonds in there, Rachel advised about 15. Pistachios, and of course, cashews. Let's get back to the graph, shall we? I've been doing way too much sitting down today, so I feel like standing up is gonna help me feel less lethargic as well and be a bit more productive. So I'm gonna continue cracking on with things that I've got to do today, which is first going to be working through more of case 4, the cardiac failure stuff, pulmonary edema. Is associated with that just because I feel like with it being 6 p.m. now, if I leave that any later, I'll not be switched on and it requires a lot more mental energy. It's just about being efficient with your time and if you want to have a bath, you know, think about how you can utilize that time and be productive with that time. So while I'm in the bath, I can't use my laptop. So what else can I be doing whilst in the bath? I can be writing a script, I can be coming up with video ideas. So yeah, anyway, let's crack on. And if you're wondering what I'm doing at 7:30 p.m, I'm actually watching my favorite YouTuber to learn medicine. Actually my favorite person, full stop, to learn medicine from. Ninja Nerd. I'm down a rabbit hole actually. I'm doing cardiac failure and now I'm just watching his pathophysiology of congestive heart failure and just cardiac failure in general. I just find it so fascinating. And then what ends up happening is I start making notes on that rather than my actual case. It is 9 p.m. and I've done just about 5 hours of work today and I didn't quite get through what I wanted to get through. I got through cardiac failure and rheumatic and pulmonary edema, but I also wanted to get through rheumatic fever and how that relates to cardiac failure, and also mitral regurgitation, but I think there's just a bit too much on mitral regurgitation. And I've got other things that I need to do today. I'm exhausted, but things need doing. And so, because I've had such a long day, I have decided to treat myself to a beer. I know, it's a Wednesday night and I'm having a beer. But to be fair, I've not had a drink in quite a while, like a week and a half. Is that a while? Yeah, I feel like it is. And I feel like I've worked hard for it today, had a really long day. So I'm gonna enjoy this curry and I'm just looking at some of the things that I've got to do, which I'm gonna do in the bath. A lot of them are planning, writing scripts, and I'm feeling like I can do that in the bath. It's a good place for me to relax. I'll put a candle on, I'll turn the lights off, and I'll just have my phone out and I'll just be brainstorming, and I really enjoy that environment. So I'm gonna do that after, but whilst I eat this food, of course, I'm gonna stick a video on by Ninja Nerd. And we are at 11:15 and I've just gone through a few emails, replied to some of them, some partnership ones. I looked over a contract with, can I say? Big travel company, massive travel company, one of the biggest ones out there. And I'm gonna be doing a advert with them. And also we're gonna run a long-term partnership, which means they're gonna be sponsoring some trips coming in the future. And I'm just so exhausted right now, but so excited about that. I think that's absolutely incredible. I'm seriously buzzing about that. Like the fact that that's gonna actually happen. You guys are gonna hear a lot more about it. I'm gonna be talking about it a lot more on my main channel, and you're gonna see them featured a lot more on my main channel. So lots of really cool stuff there. Yeah, I'm just super excited about life right now. I mean, I feel like I've got, you know, I've got my medicine, which I'm so just obsessed with, but then my travel, which I'm also so obsessed with, and I've managed to find such a great balance with them both. You know, my travel is something that I get to look forward to in my holidays, and I need to edit this reel for my Instagram. So by the way, if you're not already following my Medic Matthew Instagram page, there it is right there. Go follow it, because I post all the unfiltered stuff, all my day-to-day activities, me just waffling along, talking to the camera. So yeah, you're gonna find some good stuff there. Okie dokie, that is good. I've just done a reel and pretty much got through everything I think I needed to get through today, or can possibly get through in the limited hours that are in a day. So I think this is a really good place to finish this video. So thank you so much if you've made it this far and watching all along. Please, if you have enjoyed it, hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel and press the bell notifications to get notified every single time I post new weekly videos to this channel. Also, follow me on the Instagram. My link is right there or in the description box below. And also, there's gonna be a playlist right here for you to watch lots more medical school related content from my channel. But as always, I will see you in the next one.